Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the states of New Mexico and Hawaii. This is our preview, our weekly preview of all the properties going live on the website for tomorrow, Friday, November 6th, 2020. Before I get started, guys, we got two announcements this video. First announcement I'm going to do at the start. Last announcement I'll do at the end. But first big announcement, I want to make everybody aware. This weekend, we are moving the office. And perhaps you're saying, hey, Hemingway, how does that affect my life? Why are you wasting my time with this nonsense? Here's why, people. If any of you buy a property this weekend, if any of you call, if any of you send an email, it's not going to be addressed until Monday, okay? Normally, I live my life in front of a phone and a computer. I am Johnny on the spot, particularly when somebody buys a property from us. I like to call. I like to put a human voice at the end of the transaction, say thank you, so on and so forth. I like to let you guys know you're going to have documents from us within 24 hours. They're going to your spam, so on and so forth. That will not be happening this weekend because we're packing everything up. We're shutting everything down. We're moving it, and then we're unpacking it. We're setting it back up. We're getting the internet hooked up, so on and so forth. So I will respond to the no doubt roughly 400 emails that I'll have waiting for me by Sunday night. Probably by then, but I'm saying Monday. Give me till Monday. So if anybody buys a property from us this weekend, we know you're out there. I promise we'll get in touch with you on Monday. Thank you in advance. Anyway, that's the first announcement. Now, of course, I do want to thank all the people who bought land from us this past week. Busy week again. So let's start off with Socorro County. Returning customer Lorenzo bought some land from us out there. In Rio Rancho, Chad bought some land from us, as well as returning customer Thomas and Han, a.k.a. Benny. Special thanks to them. In Timberon, that lot that we listed last week, or one of the three lots that were listed last week, sold to David and Alicia. Thanks to them. And Bonnie put down a deposit on that Grant County property that we've had in inventory for approximately 7 million years last week. I actually forgot to say Bonnie's name in last week's video. She did it last Tuesday, simply because she paid us a different way, and I didn't see it in the files. Anyway. And finally, want to thank the buyers out in Taos County. Sold a bunch of Tres Piedras lots this week. Kira and Mark bought one. Annie bought one. Eva bought one. Marion bought one. And about 5 minutes before I started this video, Daniela bought two. So thank you to all of them. All right, guys, with all that said, we got two new properties going live this week. Mind you, guys, it's only two because I'm busy with the whole office move, number one. Number two, there was an election this past week. So some of us, this guy, was glued to the TV and the internet all week, reading election returns, studying counties, so on and so forth. So we got two properties going live this week, both in Cibola County. First one, CB&M 6982, located out there in the Pitchford Subdivision, 2.684 acres for $8,500. Power, underground utilities, much like the rest of Pitchford. And additionally, we've got CB&M 5166. This is in a different subdivision. It's actually a sister subdivision to Pitchford. It's called Hastings. And this is 3.5 acres for $4,500. In case you're saying, hey, Hemingway, what's the deal with the price disparity? Well, people, occasionally we buy properties that have a lot of back taxes on them. Occasionally we buy properties and we elect to close through title escrow, etc. So it adds to our purchasing costs. That being said, we got a really good deal on this one because occasionally the other circumstance is we run into people who bought something 30 years ago and haven't seen it since, and they tend to sell it to us for, slightly more than a nickel. So point being, 3.5 acres, $4,500, 2.5 acres, $8,500, blah, blah, blah. My suspicion is the cheaper one is going to sell faster than this one, and it may very well sell this weekend, guys. So if you're interested, act fast. We'll start off with this one, CB&M 6982, located out here just north of the Candy Kitchen Ranch Airport. Along this road, Concho Lane, which I believe is actually called something else. I have it on the listing page. Called something else in real life. Whatever case, it's a combination of two adjacent 1.3 acre lots that sit right here. Power, of course, is running up along this side of the street and underground utilities in the region. As always, guys, photos at the bottom of the listing page where you'll be able to learn more about these two lots and about this specific region out here in Pitchford. By the way, this is one of a number of properties that we have now listed in Pitchford. I really like this subdivision, and I've been getting a lot of good feedback on it. So take a look at this one. This lot, by the way, has kind of a hilly topography to it. So it's not the usual flat deal, not the usual thing where I say super easy to build. My guess is there's going to be some knocking down of trees that has to be done here, a little bit of excavating, a little bit of landscaping, etc. But a really nice lot out here, and very close, by the way, to the Candy Kitchen Volunteer Fire Department. I mean, like less than a mile away. So A lot of things to like about this property. I will let you guys explore this one on your own. CB&M 5166 is very similar. Sits pretty close by to that one. Sits right here along High Horse and God's Acre. High Horse is actually called Hastings Loop in real life, not here in Google Map life. Whatever the case, if you pull back, you will see that this is Candy Kitchen Airport up here. So the other property is just right here. This one's down here. Sister subdivision, this Hastings subdivision is. Similar thing with the covenants and restrictions out there in Pitchford. Both of these have very light covenants if they're still in existence. It's difficult to prove if they are or if they're not anymore. But it's a really nice subdivision, as noted. Power, underground utilities, some good road access out there, etc. Some nice homes in the region as well, and very light covenants in this area. Both subdivisions have covenants that were set to essentially expire in the last decade, and nobody in the county, no realtor out there can tell me if they're still enforced. I don't think they are, but whatever the case, some nice property out here. This one, it's a forested lot, but it's also got some nice wide open space on it, so it should be easy to build out there, particularly for those of you who are buying these properties in Cibola County as like places for hunting cabins, seasonal retreat type of thing. This one looks really good, and obviously not too far from the Cibola National Forest. I will let you guys check this one out on your own time, but I like both of these, particularly this one. It's at a really good price. So if you're interested in this one, act sooner rather than later. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, guys, also not premiering on the site this week, but we've got more lots in Rio Rancho that have finally been photographed. It's actually only 3 lots this week, 20X, 20Y, and 20Z. We have, at this point now, sold out of all the Unit 9, all the Unit 8 properties. We would have more photographed this week, but it snowed in New Mexico last week, so our photographer was limited in what he was able to do. Whatever the case, all 3 of these will be up. These are in developing regions just north of Northern Boulevard. Power close by to all of these lots. And when I say close by, I don't mean like 6 miles away. I mean like 1 lot over, across the street type of deal. Whatever the case, on our master page, of course, linked here with the spreadsheet. We've got them up. Scroll down to Unit 6. Lots 20X, 20Y, and 20Z. These, by the way, are their locations on the map respectively. This one, this doesn't look like there's much going on here, but there's actually a home site right here. It has power to it. So right across the street, and of course, just north of this developing region right here along Northern Boulevard. So utilities already in the area. This is one I would anticipate will, property value will increase pretty quickly over time, I would imagine. 20Y, hello, this one also has power very close by. I think it's just like a few lots over, either right here or right here. But just north of Northern Boulevard. Of course, I keep saying northern. For those of you who don't know, this is a major arterial crisscrossing Rio Rancho subdivision from east to west. So from here, you can get into town really fast, which is why I keep highlighting it. And finally, this property, located right by the solar array out here. Power, of course, is going up and down Encino and Espejo over here. And this one is actually a 2-acre lot, combination of 2 adjacent 1-acre lots. That, of course, is notable because property even of that size is very hard to come by out there. We, of course, have scooped up a bunch of adjacent lots in this subdivision. So, I mean, just for investment purposes, buy one, resell the other, buy one, let a family member live on the other, whatever, but having 2 acres out there ultimately affords you way more acreage, way more privacy, way more building space than all these other homes that are in the region. So I think it's a good deal. And oh, by the way, this one also just north of Northern Boulevard with all this development down here. So blah, blah, blah. Anyway, more good lots. They're going quickly out there in Rio Rancho, guys. So just keep it in mind. Anyway, with all that said, I was talking earlier about a second announcement in the video. This is the second announcement. So next Friday, and I reserve the right to make it 2 Fridays from now, but we're going to have going live on the website roughly about 70 properties in a subdivision we have never before listed land in. It's called Carson Estates. It's up in Taos County. It is very similar to Trace Piedras Estates. And when I say similar, I mean as far as the zoning, as far as being able to do things like live out of an RV, yurts, shipping containers, things like that. Particularly friendly for earthship homes. This is a region where anybody who's anybody in the earthship community tries to buy up land so they can build out there. Very popular in that region, just right outside Taos, literally about 5 minutes outside Taos. And the big scoop here with these 70 lots is we've got a bunch of adjacent properties. So that whole subdivision, unlike Tres Piedras, it's all quarter acres. But we've actually got a number of listings of 2 adjacent quarter acres, 3 adjacent quarter acres. We've actually even got 4 and 5 adjacent lots out there. I think we've even got a 6 adjacent lot one. Point being, all the information on all of those roughly 70 properties is going to be up on the website. I'm shooting for next Friday. That's probably when it'll go live. Again, guys, I reserve the right to push it 1 week. But the point is, if you've been looking at the Tres Piedras inventory and you haven't pulled the trigger simply because we just don't have large enough acreage, and you want to do something that requires a certain amount of zoning hurdles and you want at least 3/4 of an acre, that opportunity will be coming next week. Number one. And number two, just for any of you who contact us all the time about Earthship homes, asking about specifically that region of the country, we're going to have a ton of land out there. So got the photos back from the photographer. I will debut them next week, but they're really good. It's a really beautiful area. Just keep it in mind, guys. Anyway, so with all that said, I will see you guys in next week's video. Again, office will regrettably be closed all weekend. Emails and phone calls will be returned on Monday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Wish us luck, and we'll see you in next week's video.